Welcome to the Real Estate Syndication Show. Whether you are a seasoned investor or building a new real estate business, this is the show for you. Whitney Sewell talks to top experts in the business. Our goal is to help you master real estate syndication. And now your host, Whitney Sewell.
This is your daily real estate syndication show. I'm your host, Whitney Sewell. Today our guest is Manny Perez. Thanks for being on the show, Manny.
Hey, thanks a lot, Whitney. I appreciate it.
Manny's a real estate investor, multifamily syndicator, real estate broker, fix and flipper, creative real estate specialist, and podcaster. His passion is helping his friends and family invest and understand the fundamentals of real estate. He's also the director of market research and acquisitions for BlueSpruce Holdings. They're based out of Denver. Manny, give the listener a little more about just your background and how you got into this business we call syndication.
Yeah, no problem, man. Actually, it was a little bit of an accident how I got in the business. I'll kind of start back in 2013. I was a probation officer here in the Denver area, and I started purchasing income properties. And the bulb went off, and all I wanted to do was have passive income, and that's kind of where the investment started. I teamed up with a partner of mine, Adam Adams. We started fix and flipping, wholesaling. I eventually ended up getting my broker's license. So that's kind of where it started. The fix and flip game here in Denver was getting pretty tough. And essentially, what we wanted was passive money. So we stumbled upon, the syndication model, and we went full-time at it. And we're full-time syndicators right now. So that's kind of how we jumped in. We have a great team, and we started about middle of 2017 and was eventually able to close some deals in 2018, close 3 deals in 2018. And just looking to, figure out maybe some of the mistakes that we made in 18 and to eliminate those and just be a little better in 2019.
Nice. So you had a day job. You're a probation officer, and you were purchasing income producing properties. So what type of properties were you purchasing then while you were working full time?
They were mainly single family. So it was kind of more of the BRRRR strategy. So you start off, you buy a house, then you refinance, go ahead and buy another house. It just worked out great. Like I said, I just kind of stumbled upon it by accident. And then I started reading books about passive money. I think eventually I read the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book that everyone reads. And I just realized that, like I said, the light bulb went on, and it was like, wow, I need to start owning assets and figuring out how I can do that. And the syndication model has just been able to prove how useful it can be. And like I said, we're just trying to really ramp up for 2019.
Nice. So, tell us a little more about your role with BlueSpruce Holdings. I know what you do. I know we said you're the director of market research and acquisitions, and we want to dig in there a little bit so you can, help the listeners, with that exact thing, with the market research and just how you all, do your acquisitions.
Yeah, no problem. As far as acquisitions, it's about lead generating. I typically make sure I'm talking with brokers, just power team members. So even lenders, inspectors, insurance people, they work with, guys like us on a daily basis. And you never know when somebody may have a deal or another syndication team is looking to partner up with somebody. And, you just want to work your power team. And so I make sure to do that every day. I'm making calls. I'm seeing what's going on in the markets. And that's how we're able to fund our lead gen. There are other ways, and we're going to look to start doing maybe some more off-marketing come 2019, and that's where some of the mistakes we made in 2018 was I don't think we were very laser-focused. We were looking in a lot of different directions, and so for 2019, we've identified a couple of different cities that we want to be in, which is Oklahoma City, and Tulsa. We're going to be 100% in those areas. I would say we are from Denver, so if something's within an hour of the Metro Denver, we would take a look at it. But I think being laser focused and understanding the market and really engulfing your power team there is how we're going to get the leads for 2019 and be able to close the amount of deals that we want to and that our investors want as well. So
nice. So let's talk about the just that market research a little bit and maybe why you picked Oklahoma City, Tulsa. Like, so for the listener who's not sure about what market they should focus on, I agree. Like you hear guys say, "Oh, I'd be interested in this market and that market," and they may name 10 markets, but that that's pretty overwhelming if you're going to be open to 10 markets. So
Yeah.
I like the focus but help them narrow down their focus and why.
Well, I mean, we chose Oklahoma City. We like the price points there. Not to mention, but we live in Denver, Colorado, and you're probably going to hear, one of the top 5 markets in the city or in the country. I mean, and trust me, everybody understands that, and it's very competitive. We have found a spot in Oklahoma City where we feel it's on the rise up, not like at the cap where kind of Denver, maybe Dallas, Orlando, some certain other cities. And it's okay to invest there. They're top cities for a reason. Trust me. I mean, if I find one in Denver, I'll be on top of it. But we have found some cities that are just, like I said, the emerging markets are coming. We like the economy there. It's not just based on oil like it had been in the previous time. And we know oil's booming right now, so it's a good time for them. But they have a lot of health, energy. They're a lot more diverse than they used to be. And they kind of learned from previous experience. So it's a city on the rise. They have a lot of growth that's going there as well. So it's somewhere that we've identified as a perfect target market for us. So
okay, so a city on the rise. What would be some things maybe that would cue us to notice a city or notice a location like that's on the rise? What should I be looking for?
Definitely job growth, net migration in. So those are some of the things that'll get it started. I also like to see what's going on with the schools or what kind of development is going on, and we'll identify some certain areas that we want to be in. So that's really how I target it. I'll look to see, what kind of, like I said, development, the building permits. I'll talk with a lot of investors. So it's good to be a part of your RIA and let them give you some identification of what's really going on. Landlord friendly. So you want to pick someone that's landlord friendly, not somewhere that's going to be tough to evict tenants if you have to evict tenants. So definitely look for, like I said, easy landlord laws, very good government, those things.
Nice. So, as far as the growth and migration and schools, like where are some places you're going to find that information?
Where are some places you're going to find it?
Yeah, like what is there a specific website maybe that's really helpful in finding this information?
Yeah, you can always go to the Marcus and Millichap websites. Those are always pretty good. Your U.S. News. I believe there's another place that I like to start at just to kind of get a feeling for the area, which is niche.com. If you go there, you can type in a specific zip code and just kind of get an idea of what's there, and then you can really start diving in. I like to make a phone call to the Chamber of Commerce, economic development. So start there, see what's happening, what's going on. Definitely talk to county assessors. I want to know about taxes. I want to see if things are going to be on the rise or those type of stuff.
Nice.
So I would definitely start there. Marcus and Millichap's always a good one. I know I already said that, but it's a good one. They have really good quarterly reports, and they'll be able to kind of tell you about rent growths and things, forecasting, things like that.
Nice. So what kind of like red flags would you notice, when you're doing this research to say, I don't want to invest in that area or that city?
Vacancies. Why is a certain city maybe vacant? I may take a look at certain comps and, just see what's normal in an area. So I don't like seeing vacancies if it's under, in order to get a Fannie Freddie loan, you're probably going to have to be above 88%. There are some cities where a norm is around 88 or 87, and so that's kind of scary. So you just want to be aware of that. That would be a red flag. Just want to see what's the forecast going to look like. So I look at those type of things as far as rent growths to see if I'm on the upswing or a down. And then at that point, I'll take a look at my numbers and see, hey, can I invest here? Should I wait a couple years? And then if it, do I see a pop coming in year 3 or 4? So I just look at a lot of those things. Red flag is vacancies though, or jobs pulling out. Especially big jobs. So if you're I think I heard something in Canada or like Detroit about GM pulling out, well, that's pretty big job area. So just look for big things like that.
Are you tired of answering emails from investors about when they'll receive their K-1s? Let the real estate CPA handle the accounting and taxes on your next syndication, and they'll file your tax returns by March 15th so you can get your K-1s to your investors by the individual filing deadline on April 15th. Not only will this reduce headaches, but it will help you retain investors over the long term by improving investor experience. The Real Estate CPA is now offering a special virtual workshop to the listeners of the Real Estate Syndication Show on how to answer tax-related questions from your investors. Learn more today by visiting therealestateCPA.com/syndication. So after we've found our market, you talked about developing your power team, and maybe you could talk to that a little bit, because since you all are investing now at a distance, or out of your local area, give us some tips on developing a power team, like you said.
Okay. I'd like to talk with brokers, how I've been finding them. I used LinkedIn quite a bit. So I like to, schedule phone calls. I like to know if that specific broker may be an investor. Does he work these type of things? So I want somebody that either invests, to be on my team, because they're going to understand what I'm looking for. Same thing on the insurance part. I want to know somebody that maybe invests or has done a lot of investment properties. So I definitely interview quite a bit, and then, like to just figure out who my top people are and definitely build the relationships from there. I do that with the lenders. I do that with insurance people, just everybody in general.
So you'll find them on LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn, Bigger Pockets. That's always a good one. I would also say LoopNet is a good one, where you can find certain brokers. You can see like how many listings they have, what type of listings. Are they just a commercial broker or a retail space? Are they multifamily? Are they just specifically residential? So LoopNet I found to be a pretty good one, where you can really just identify, hey, this guy is specifically multifamily, which is what we target. We're specifically multifamily at the moment. But if you are involved in office or industrial, you can find those specific brokers there, and that would be probably a good place to start.
So, let's say we've developed that broker relationship, and you found your market. Talk to us about what makes a deal a good deal. You found the market, and I don't know, the broker sends you all this information, right? And what makes a good deal, and what should we be looking for?
Well, what makes a good deal, it depends what your guys' investment criteria is. So
what's your criteria?
What my criteria would be?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to go for more of a longer term hold as of right now. So we're projecting somewhere in the 7 to 10 year. If we could give investors 100%, return within the 5 to 7 year mark, we feel pretty good about that investment. As far as even cash on cash, if we're in that 7% or above for our investors, we feel that's a good deal, especially in the given market time right now. But hey, everyone has a different investment criteria. Some may want less cash on cash, but wants that equity pop at a certain point. Like I said, so it just depends what your criteria is.
Now, are you all going to look for a certain amount of units or a certain class of property, or what else is going to steer you away or towards a specific property?
Yeah, so B and C class. So we like the working class, middle class type of tenant. So a B or C type of property in a B or C area. And I never go, let's just say I'm always even with it. So if it's a B asset, I don't want to be in a C area. I want to be in either a B area or an A area. So you never want to be below class. But if it's a C property, fine. A C area is fine. We like those areas because honestly, if something was to kind of a downturn, the luxury ones are the ones that get hit the hardest, and then it kind of just trickles down. So I feel like we're just in a very comfortable spot for people, and people are going to need to live somewhere, and we feel that in those asset classes, that's the safest.
So, we found the property. Take us through just really going through the transaction a little bit, and maybe some things that that you really focus on, or ways that you stay organized, just managing the transaction.
Okay. We have a project management tool. We use this thing called Trello board. Once everything's under contract, I pretty much put all my deadlines and what has to be done. So I'm scheduling it. I'm identifying my team members and saying, hey, here, I need you to do this, and delegate certain things, and then check back at a certain time. So like I said, we have a project management tool. That's how we keep on top of things, and it's a constant thing. So it's fun. I love it, and we have a timeline of what needs to happen at certain times.
What are some critical things through the transaction that we need to make sure we know about or we stay on top of?
Definitely your inspection guidelines and your financial, timeline. So usually we're closing properties in 60 to 90 days. So we'll usually have like an inspection of 30 days. And so you want to get everything done within that 30-day time. We've been able to negotiate contracts for a financial contingency deadline up to 60 days. So that allows you that once you've done your inspections and you're ready to move forward, and you're like, okay, we're really going to go through with this, that you have an additional time to also get your loan. Definitely be working on a few things during inspection, so getting your loan terms and things like that. But once you're done with inspection, then just and you have enough time to get your loan as well. So those are the two deadlines, and I push on those pretty hard. So once we're under contract, it's day one. All right, let me go to the property. I need to walk every unit. We started up, and I could probably give you a list of things maybe that you can give your audience kind of our timeline.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. So you're walking every unit. What are you going to be looking for when you're walking every unit?
Looking for major things. So I'm going to look at, furnace, water heater, things like that. Are there bad leaks? I might look at, on the ceiling, is there a roof leak and it's coming down? Is there any kind of structure? Am I seeing cracks? So I'm mainly just looking at huge ticket items. Most likely by the time I put an LOI, I have a good idea of what a rehab budget might be for a certain project, and I just want to make sure that my budget is correct. And if it's not, then I need to make little tweaks and see if the property is going to still be worth it at that price, or do we have to renegotiate, basically retrade. So like I said, looking at big ticket items, things that I'm not aware about.
Have you ever been doing the walkthrough after you're under contract and found major issues that were unexpected?
Absolutely. So usually I'll say this, during LOI stage, if they've accepted an LOI, I'll go ahead and take a look at the property. And usually the agent may let you look at like 3 or 4 units and let you look at the outside, and then you get an idea. And then once you're under contract, they'll say, okay, well, now that you're under contract, you can look at all this 140 units. Well, I'll tell you, one time, I think they showed me just the best units. And then when I really got to look at it, I got to see the tenant class that was in it. I got to see a lot of the major problems that they were just hiding and not disclosing. So always walk every single unit. And that's a bit of advice. Please walk every single unit.
So what does that look like? How do you bring that up then? Who do you bring it up to? Are you talking to the broker or you find these issues and what does that look like?
So I come back with my team. When we're under contract, I'm able to bring a contractor with me. I'm able to bring a roofing guy, electrical person, and then I'm even able to talk to the property manager and gain a little bit of knowledge and tidbits of what happens on a day-to-day basis at this property. And so once you have an idea and you've kind of reevaluated what the budget is, if it becomes more, then I go back to the broker and say, hey, these are some things that I found. This is probably where I'm going to need to get the price at. So at that point, now we're retrading, we're renegotiating. Obviously in a perfect world, we just want everything to be, hey, it looks like this is good. We're ready to go. But sometimes you find something and you just gotta, like I said, bring it up to the broker and we start negotiating from there. And they understand the game. I think they do. So I've never really been in too much of a bully fight from there.
So how did that deal turn out? You went back, you presented that. What happened?
That specific one, I'm not going to list the property on this
Sure.
this thing, but it did fall through. It did fall through, and I was okay with it. I wasn't going to put my investors at risk and to be in a property that would have possibly failed. So I've always had my investors in mind when I'm going into deals and looking, and if I can't get the right price, then it's not worth it, and I'm on to the next one. So
Nice.
I would tell people, try to not have any emotion in it. You're there to evaluate the business, and if it makes sense, you do it, and if it doesn't, then move on. There'll be another deal.
Manny, what advice do you give someone that, if you have 30 seconds to talk to someone or a minute
Sure.
that says, I want to get started in the syndication business?
So somebody tells me, hey, Manny, I want to get started. Okay. I would tell them to get some education, honestly, whether it's someone local. Another part of education could be to even shadow a syndication team. Just get the nuances, understand what's going on. There could be a lot of moving parts, and that's what we did. Honestly, we got education. We locally and nationally. We went to a lot of networking events. We asked tons of questions. And once we were able to do that, we then eventually built a business and kind of a system to help us out. And I think that's what I would do. That's what I would tell that person is get educated first.
What's been the hardest part of the syndication business for you?
Hardest part, I would say, right now, I would say it has to be finding the deal right now. Finding not the perfect deal, but finding the right deal. And that's something that I noticed in 2018 is that we needed to do a little bit better on our lead generation. So I think that was helping us to be more focused. Just pick your market. And we're going to pick, like I said, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. Tulsa is not too far away from Oklahoma City, so it's doable. But yeah, it's just pick your market, because then you can really pick your power team, find your investors, and people. Since we've done that, it just seems like the same deal flow that we were receiving nationwide is coming to us, because I've told these people, look, I'm specifically here to Oklahoma City. So I would just say, make it easier on yourself, find a market, and just be 100% all in on it. And I feel like people will just take you more seriously. And that's what I'm coming to find out. And I think that was the hardest thing in 2018. And you know what? Let's do another interview in 2020, and I'll let you know how the lead gen really went out for 19.
Yeah, that'd be great. Is there some way that you all have recently improved your business that we can all apply to ours, or some kind of tool, or just anything?
I would say CRM. As we started networking a ton, you're going to get a bunch of business cards. Don't be the person that gets it and puts it on their desk or throws it in the trash, things like that. You never know when you're going to need to call that person for something. So we got a CRM system that keeps all our contacts in place. It also, the specific CRM system, Active Campaign, it's pretty awesome on the money raise. So we're able to track how we're raising it. It does campaigns, email campaigns for you, automation type of things. So let's say somebody's like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and invest that $100,000. We have something that says, okay, great. I'm going to put you on an automation. It's going to send out the PPM to you and let you know what's going on. So it's great. It's a great tool for us. Something that we added towards the end of 2018. And we did get to use it on a couple deals, and it worked. It just kept us organized. So I would tell you, find a CRM that's going to work for you. Ours was Active Campaign, and we tweaked it to our liking. So.
Nice. What's the number one thing that's contributed to your success, Manny?
I would say my team's passion, their persistence. just getting started, it's not the easiest thing, but if you have persistence and you have a will and you understand your whys, that's going to take you where you need to be. And I wouldn't be here without my team. We all have our roles. We all work together really well. And that would be the best thing going for us is just our team.
What are you excited about right now in your business? Anything you all are working on or anything in the future?
Yeah, I mean, based off what we're planning for 2019 and the way we're structured, I think it's going to be, closing deals left and right. I'm very excited for 2019. We do have something that's going on. Actually, like I said, if it's in Denver within an hour, I'll look at it. I have something that I'm looking at up in Greeley, Colorado, and we're pretty close to locking it down, and so we'll see what happens. And we're excited. We got a good thing going.
Other than deals, is there something that you need in your business right now that you'd like to put out to the listeners?
What I need, I would say, probably like an assistant underwriter.
Okay.
So we are starting to get some deal flows or some deals flowing in, and maybe somebody that would take off some of the heavy lifting or some of the lifting before it gets to one of us. So that may be something that we'll add in 2019. Somebody that wants to learn, like you were just saying, somebody, when you asked me that question, how do you get in this business? Maybe mentoring somebody or going to a mentor or learning from somebody, maybe we're starting to get into that position. So
how do you like to give back?
I love giving back as far as, to the community or,
yeah. Just any way that you'd like to give back.
We have a lot of networking groups here in Colorado, and my phone's always open. Door's always open. I feel like I've helped a lot of people that have just had a question or wanted me to take a second look at something. I don't mind doing that. I just want to help anybody that wants to help themselves. So if you're willing to help yourself, I'll help you. My door's always open. As far as giving back to the community, I love doing that. Love volunteering. I'm a church-going person. So, those are some of the things I like doing.
Great. Manny, you've been a great guest. I really appreciate your time. And you just laid out many points that help our listeners, just knowing how to find a deal and create that power team and going through the transaction and a couple tools also that you laid out. I really appreciate that. The Trello board and active campaign and how those have helped you. And but would you tell the listeners how they can learn more about you and get in touch with you?
Sure. Yeah. You could go to realbluespruce.com. That's our website. We have plenty of Adam Adams podcast, and we have a lot of networking events that we host. So you can find us there. You can also reach me. I'll give out the phone number, 303-526-8399. If you ever have any question or ever want to get in touch to talk about something, please feel free. Email. You can reach me by email, manny@realbluespruce.com. How you spell Manny is Manny. Like I said, pretty open book, and if you're willing to help yourself, then I'll jump on board. So,
well, what an opportunity! I know many listeners are trying to get started in this business, and there you go. There's a phone number and email, and looking for somebody to help do some underwriting. So I hope the listeners will reach out to you, Manny. I hope the listeners also go to LifeBridge Capital and connect with me and schedule a call. I'll also help you any way I can. And then go to our Facebook group so we can all learn from experts like Manny and future guests on the show. But have a good afternoon, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Syndication Show, brought to you by LifeBridge Capital. LifeBridge Capital works with investors nationwide to invest in real estate, while also donating 50% of its profits to assist parents who are committing to adoption. LifeBridge Capital, making a difference, one investor and one child at a time. Connect online at www.lifebridgecapital.com for free material and videos to further your success.